But we're noticing on the Doppler, and so that fire has gotten more intense. Current wind speed in the area, 26, gusts to about 44 miles an hour. Still that offshore wind we're talking about, and it's 93 degrees in Camarillo. So that wind is not expected to die down, and the humidity is at about 3%. So 3% humidity. Again, current temperatures in that area, 93 in Camarillo, almost 90 all the way to the coast to Oxnard. And then we're looking at that current wind speed, 26 sustained, gust of 44 miles an hour. And that's going to be really difficult to fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are the worst conditions when it comes to combating a fire like this. And when you think of this neighborhood, 2,000 plus homes underneath this incredibly dark deck of clouds, and how eerie it is. We've all, been on the ground during a forest fire, and it's just, the sky becomes just the strangest color. You don't know how close you are to the flames. Really scary to be right underneath that.
No, it's almost like it's nightfall.
Yeah.
It's very creepy.
It is. And you can see how those flames are coming down the hillside. Thankfully, fire moves slower downhill, which is kind of strange. You would think it'd be the opposite. It moves actually quicker uphill than it does downhill.
Well, like you said, this is what firefighters want to see. They're going to watch this closely and try to protect the homes, but they want basically that fire to come down that hill as close as manageable without creating a bad situation. And again, because of building codes, I can tell you that all of those, the roofs on all those homes, they're all built not that long ago, and they got a fire code, so that those roofs are not going to catch on fire.
They were saying the Spanish tiles and the homes are stucco, so that's better as far as being a wood frame home or something like that. We've seen many drops throughout the morning into the afternoon. They also have the boss check that they've done, which is the fire retardant. And this appears to be a water dropping helicopter. And, another thing that these helicopters have to deal with is, imagine flying in these really gusty winds, and they have to get low enough. It's not an easy day for them to be maneuvering in a helicopter.
Yeah, and again, as we watch, there's building a fire break right there. That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those things don't move quickly. That's the thing.
Not quick enough, that's for sure. Well, again, I want to tell you that, this is not the only fire going on, unfortunately, which is, what happens when these Santa Ana winds kick up in these dry conditions. This all really started yesterday out in Banning with a Summit fire. 2,956 acres have burned. That fire is now 40% contained. The Springs fire, the one you're watching here, 6,500 acres. Also a fire, another one in Riverside County, Mira Loma. They're calling this one the Van Buren fire. It was taking place in the Harupa Valley. It's now 50% contained. It was only about 12 acres. It wasn't that large. And again, that one started by a cigarette butt. And now we have reports of a 4-alarm fire at a mobile home park in San Bernardino on West Mills Road. We do have a crew on the way to the scene there to give us a live report on what's happening there. But again, we continue to watch the Springs fire, 6,500 acres. There's been a lot of evacuations. This is a strawberry farm here, and it looks like the crops are going to be okay, but all the buildings for storage that they're using there, I'd say by the end of the day, it's a good bet this is going to be a total loss. There is absolutely no support.
And then go to the 101 since the 101 freeway is open, but be aware, it's going to be quite the sight with all the smoke that people can see, but with those main lines being open, that will help people.
Okay, Ginger, that's great information. And follow her on her Twitter page, as she mentioned, and she'll continue to update us, should things change.
Okay, joining us on the phone right now is KTLA's Courtney Friel. Courtney, I believe you're in Camarillo Springs, correct?
Hey, Glenn, yeah, I am. I'm on Lewis Road at the cross street of Camarillo Street, which is closed right now because there is a fire going across it, and that is one of the roads into Cal State Channel Islands, where everyone was evacuated earlier today. It is so hot out here to describe the situation. There are tears streaming down my face, sand in my teeth. It is extremely windy, and I'm looking at this huge fire crossing over the hill that's blowing west of smoke. into on the other side is the PCH, and I'm talking with people. There's all sorts of folks standing along the street taking photos, and some of them, like David Meyer, who's with me right now, he has an apartment and cannot get into it. And tell us what happened. You were at work, and how did you find out that there was a fire and you're evacuated from your apartment?
Coworkers that Camarillo was she was saying, well, normally that means it's on fire. So, of course, I actually hopped on the KTLA and this at Camarillo and House Station on fire. And let my supervisor know, and they were gracious enough to let me down here so they could go ahead and help me get
Okay, we're obviously having a hard time keeping the signal. You can imagine communication is a little tough right now. Again, you're looking, she's in Camarillo, and you're looking, this fire burning here along these crops, which, as we said, at least on this flank is going to be more or less like a natural barrier, but there is still a problem of, the embers flying and catching, other parts of Camarillo on fire, which we saw those structures on the other side of the strawberry field which caught on fire. But this is almost like a natural break right here, which is certainly, at least on this flank, is not going to be a bigger concern.
Gets it on some flat ground, easier to attack it that way as well. There's a border of trees that you can see before it gets to the crops. They actually call
fire traveled through here. Scary, exciting, hot, just nuts. I came home to grab a couple of our valuables. Here's Matt's yard. Went up over his yard and then put it out there. Nice man. There's a window washer who came and helped with hoses, but look at this. Just devastation.
And there you have it from Jim Crawford, walking through his backyard, what used to be his backyard, but so thankful that his neighbor just cleared the property yesterday.
And as you look at that video, though, Jeff, we're reminded that everyone jumped in to help out. They actually saved all the homes in that area. And it really is another example of how we've been so lucky with this fire that homes have not burned. We've been on this fire all day since early this morning. The fact that no homes have burned is really, really a good thing to report. I mean, you saw how close they came to their homes. That was in his backyard. And we saw how fast that fire moved, he said.
You know, it's unfortunate to lose your RV, but they saved the 3 homes that are around the RV park.
Amazing.
Is that
What is it doing
You guys
with
remember
that?
from where there was some ammo being stored and there was the pop, pop, pop sound, which people said was really frightening.
Yeah, see him.
Taking a picture of
I
the
wasn't
TV.
aware of that. I don't know.
The
Yeah.
What's
fire.
that?
Ammunition was being stored someplace?
In a storage shed. And so when it was ignited, you
Well,
can
but
imagine
I'm
it sounded
thirsty.
like.
What happened to the green drink I
It
gave you?
wouldn't be unusual to
What
have
happened to the green drink
ammunition
that I
in
gave
an
you?
RV if you were...
Not an RV,
The
storage
green drink
shed.
I gave you
Yeah.
from Taco Bell.
No, because I used to keep
Did
my
you finish
rifles and my ammo
The ice drink?
in my RV.
Why?
Absolutely.
All right, so did my father. All right, we are...
Your dad and me are right there together, right?
That's right, that's right. It's just a little bit after 4 in our continuing coverage, and we're finally seeing fixed-wing aircraft get back into this area. That right there, I believe, is a P-2 Neptune that can drop about 700 to 1,000 gallons of water, and it's been making its pass back and forth.
It's been Fox-checked.
Or Fox-checked, I should say. We haven't seen it do it. Both of these are live shots from 2 different sources, and that's good news for those people, and good news for the people in Sycamore Canyon and people who love to enjoy the wilderness area, that hopefully they can get a line on that southwestern leading edge of the fire as it burns toward the ocean.
Yeah, pointing out, though, the information we had gotten earlier, too, about the difference in the air attack, you know, the helicopters versus the fixed-wing aircraft. It doesn't mean one is better than the other because they kind of serve 2 different purposes. You have the helicopters that are fire suppression.
You lost it?
The tankers are the containment lines, the ridge lines.
Did you
the
finish it or
retirement.
what?
Jeff, it seems that people think of sometimes these fixed-wing aircraft and think, okay, everything's fine, we have the big planes, but really you need both.
You do, and here's the thing: those airplanes are impressive. And I mean, if you've ever, I've been out on the fire line with the DC-10 going over me. That will lay a line a football field wide by 1 mile long. A football field, I mean, that's just a huge amount of line to lay. And so the media like to focus on that. We like to focus on the super scoopers because of how quickly they can refuel, and they're bright yellow and they come from Canada. And they're great, but they're not everything.
Right.
If you have a queasy stomach, don't ever fly with these guys.
Yeah.
Because I did it once, and that's the last time.
I've done it once as well.
They are beyond brave and heroic in what they do, because they dive into these fires so fast.
So true.
And you just go, there's no way we're pulling out of this. They dive right into it, pull out, and you say to yourself, would you please land the plane so I can get out? They're really terrific pilots.
Now, we're thinking that the sun goes down, I think, at about 7:30, something
That's
like
about right,
that.
yeah.
And so we've been discussing whether that means that we're going to lose that nighttime assault from the air. But actually, if you think back in 2007, they figured out a way to do those nighttime drops. So I don't know, maybe if we'll see a resurgence of that tonight.
That is a decision that is made on a case-by-case basis. And LA County had until, I don't know if it was 2007 or not, your date may be very accurate, had prohibited it. And then they decided to revisit allowing the pilots to make the decisions themselves, along with Air Command. So if they feel that the conditions are right, that there's enough ambient light, that they can get an artificial...